the US Consul General, His Excellency Will Stevens, as he comes in to give the goodwill message now. Please put your hands together for him.
Hi, everybody. Oh, come on. Hi, everybody. Hi, I'm so grateful to be here with you today. As usual, my team prepared a beautiful speech, and as usual, I probably won't read it. So if you see Ken A in the room, tell him you're sorry that his boss is so badly behaved. I get so inspired when I spend time with folks in the fintech sector and in the tech sector in Nigeria that I always go off script. As U.S. companies, you pay my salary, right? Just like you pay our good friend from the central bank's salary. So thank you for that. Thank you for paying your taxes in the U.S. But when you do that, you should get something out of us, right? You should get our support. And so I'm going to try to lay out a few things that we're trying to do and how it syncs up with what the Biden administration, the U.S. government is trying to do more broadly. But first I'm going to start with the most important aspect of this for, I would guess, 90% of you, which is visas, right? Every time I have a conversation with somebody in Nigeria, they ask me about visas. So, I know, it's like this Wahala thing. So, what have we done? As U.S. companies, we invite you to join the American Business Council, which is essentially, it's the affiliate of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And we've worked together with the ABC to broaden the aperture of what they're allowing to join. And we just launched last week an affiliate program where the fees are a little bit lower, and our companies like you who are starting up, who maybe just recently incorporated in the US, you can join, and that gives you a bunch of specific things that we give to all of our big US companies. First of all, you get the power of advocacy as a group, right? Just like the great team from Nigeria's FinTech Association has done today, they've convened you, and together you have power. You get to go to the regulators and say, this regulation is no good. Or you get to go to the people in the Parliament and the Senate and the National Assembly and say, hey, this legislation that you're looking at is going to really hurt our industry. Here's something you can do. And let me tell you, they ask the American Business Chamber all the time, what do you think about these pending legislation? What do you think about this regulations? And when you go together as a group with Microsoft and Meta and Google and all the big American tech companies, your voices are heard. So that's a huge bit of power you get. Secondly, you get to network. You get to know the folks from Cisco and Oracle and Microsoft and all these big companies that have massive investments here. And you're meeting and working with them, and maybe you're partnering with them. I always talk about a fintech company here. It's American Express's first investment in Africa. Is anybody from Clasha in the room? Do you guys know Clasha? If you're a Sporting Legos fan like I am, you know Clasha, because they're the jersey sponsor. Wow, not my room. Okay. In any case, yeah, okay. Yeah, you know Sporting Legos at least. Yeah? Well, you know Clasha, okay. So they're networked with American Express, right? Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Citibank, they're all part of the American Business Council. So you get that networking aspect. So advocacy, networking, and then access to visas. So one of the things we do to facilitate trade and investment is we try to help our American companies get their people to the United States. So we offer them expedited visa appointments. That's the only superpower I have. I don't have any power to issue the visa. I only have the power to get you the appointment, to get you into the window. Because some of the great Nigerian entrepreneurs have somehow figured out how to fill up our appointment system. So sometimes we need to go back end and help our business people out. Yeah, there's a lot of entrepreneurs here. And so please think of yourselves as American companies. Think of yourselves and joining that network, because that's how we think of you, and we want to make sure that you're fully embraced. That's my number one message to you, and most important for me is that you take that home today. Is, hey, if I'm incorporated in the U.S., I'm an American company, and I have the same rights to demand things of that crazy American Consul General as Visa or Citibank or any of these major companies that have been here for decades and decades. All right. Why do we care about fintech? And it's basically two things. First of all, you're bringing people into the banking system. You're doing things to transform the entire continent. And that speaks directly to what we're trying to do on the continent in trying to build a digital transformation together with our partners in Africa. Anyone who has ever heard me speak has heard me say this, because I say it every time I speak. We often used to say, we need African solutions to African problems. Heard that? Yeah? I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong because we need African solutions to global problems. We need to bring the solutions that you're developing to emerging markets and markets around the world. The problems that we face are too big to be focused on one continent. They're too big that we have to think about them just myopically. Oh, Africa, you have these problems, you go fix them. We need to be working together to address things like climate change, banking the unbanked, digital access together. And so when we talk about the digital transformation with Africa, we're talking about major US investments in infrastructure. We're about to land the largest undersea cable in the world to Africa through Nigeria, both Port Harcourt and Eket and Lagos, with Meta in just a few weeks. You've got major US investments in the digital infrastructure right here in Nigeria that we hope can bring access to people all across West Africa. So one is infrastructure. Secondly, we talk about training. And so many of the great US companies that are here are invested in training and have partnered with NITDA and others on skills training, access training, getting people the skills they need to be successful in this 21st century economy. And then finally, we talk about climate, right? Business climate. Are we doing the things we need to do to make it easy for investment? And I think one of the great things about Nigeria is so many of the laws that have been written have been done in concert with industry, in concert with partners in the private sector, and with you to make sure that they're written in a way that will increase and encourage investment and encourage a business climate that's open and transparent. So, one thing you remember today, you're American. Still need visas, but you're American. So please think of us as your partner, and please reach out. I can't see Kene through the picture, but Kene through the light. But Kene is our liaison with the tech sector. There he is. Stand up. Come on, stand up, man. He's like the humblest guy in the world. But please get to know him if you don't know him already. Probably 90% of you already know him. But if you don't, go get his card, and he'll make sure you're connected to all the great things we're trying to do. Thank you.